Folks, last episode we were talking about Mecca, and I personally consider Mecca to be a big problem for Pakistan, for its economy, for its social setup, and for its future. As long as we keep going to Mecca the way we are going, when there is no need for it, and then Pakistan has no future. Because whatever money the expatriates or the Pakistanis they make is wasted on Mecca, particularly in Umrah drama, which is forget about the Hajj, which is also, in my view, is not obligatory to any Pakistani because the way Hajj is being done today is the easiest way. It's easier than going to a picnic, and it is easier than going to even Sri Lanka, Colombo, Dubai, because the idea that every Muslim should do a pilgrimage once a month is, first of all, very vague, and it was meant to be only for the people around Mecca. As I have said, the Mecca is not in the center. When we make prayers, it does not go towards Mecca; it goes in the sky. And the idea that the Muslims should only have two purposes in life: one, to pray, do rituals, and second, to do Hajj to get salvation. And this salvation drama has gone to a limit never seen in the history of any religion. It has become a place to bribe for corrupt, as I said previously. All the corrupts of Muslim world, they go and pray inside Mecca. And if you go inside Mecca, you will see that these Mecca has three pillars. Well, the building is only 120 square yard. And if this building was built by Allah or it is a home of Allah, there is no need for pillar because it is not the size of the earth. In Quran, Allah says that we build the flat earth and then we put imaginary pillars in it, which are holding the sky on your head so that the sky does not fall on you. First of all, scientifically, there is no sky. When you go out of the gravitational force of Earth, you will see a vast universe where stars are located at billions and billions of miles. Even sun is about millions and millions of miles, and there is no asman, there is no sky. The reason why we see blue sky is only because of the way the light is scattered through the dust. And the air on the earth is only up to about 5 miles. After 5 miles, there are no clouds, there are no water, and nothing is existent. So the everybody who want to go outside the gravitational force of the earth has to use thousands and thousands of horsepower machinery or rocket. Then only you can get out of the gravitational force. But back then we understand neither Arabs nor any other nation or Allah or God or Yahweh had no idea what this world is about and what is it sitting on. That is why there were assumptions that world is sitting on two horns, and when one horn get tired, the god who has the horns actually changes to other, and then we see earthquake, and then we see the uh, tornadoes and all that in this earth. Practically, earth is a round space, which I have said to you, and then you will see that the round is revolving around itself and revolving around the sun. So the idea of galaxy, which Muslims had, or before that Jews had, or before that Christian had, and the Jews had, was something like this, where This is the idea of Muslims, this is the idea of Jews, and then stars are on top and the earth is flat. And then they have some grounds, also 7 levels of ground. So here you can see these dotted lines, they are the imaginary pillars God has put. And he claims that we are holding this earth through this imaginary pillars. While his own house has 3 pillars at 120 square yards. So this drama of Mecca has to end, and people, particularly the Muslims of Pakistan, have to realize that they have wasted billions of dollars just to enrich the Saudis. And after Hajj and Umrah and other rituals, they go to Bangkok, Manila, Dubai in droves. More non-stop flights go to Bangkok from Saudi Arabia than anywhere in the world. And why? Because they deserve it. They fooled so many Muslims. They made so much business and they become so rich that they have to use that money to the prostitutes of Bangkok and Manila and sometimes Bombay and Europe. Even our Fadlur Rahman, he went to Bangkok because he has the government and he said, why not? When other mullahs and other Saudis can go, why not? I can have fun. And he went there and we don't know what he did over there because he is an old man. But today, because of the Viagra, the old man also can probably do something. That's that's the invention, the scientific invention, which has brought a smile on the face of old people. Before, the old people were very gloomy, and they were said, "Oh, now your time has come. Now you take masala and sajde shuru karo, or namaz shuru karo, and all that nonsense." Now, many of those old people, they look happy. They look very happy because what they could not do when they were young, they are doing now. All the onus and trouble is on their wives or any other woman they have a relation with. So when you say the Mecca is really important, you will not believe that everything in Mecca is fake. Let's take about the Hajar Aswad. And the Sufi gang, after hundreds of years, has said that, oh, the Hajar Aswad came from sky and it was pure white like milk. But then, because of our sins, they had turned into black. I mean, the Sufis definitely have black sins because they, first of all, are not Muslims. We'll talk about this issue later. The Ahl Hadith don't call them Muslim. Wahhabis don't call them Muslim. Even Shias, for them also, they are not perfect Muslims because they don't believe in Hussein and Ali as much as they do. And that Hajar Aswad had been stolen many times. Most historically, the most information about we have Hajar Aswad that was taken away by a ruler of Bahrain, and he was away for 23 years, and then it was broken in pieces, and then some pieces are in Turkey, the Ottoman Empire, and this stone is basically is made of granite and they redo it every 2 3 years because there were so many kissing and missing and rubbing and all that nonsense uh, takes away is part of it. So the Saudi they keep it very secret. How they when they bring the new Hajar Aswad because the new Hajar Aswad is again made of granite or some kind of cement so that it can be used and people can be fooled. The pieces in Turkey. Anybody can see it. And then at the same time, we know the information about Zamzam. Zamzam is totally fake. It's a small well which can only feed few thousand. And it was not dug by Ismail because this drama, this Ismail was dropped 900 miles from Canaan where Abraham had to live. It's totally fake. So there was no rubbing of feet of Ismail, and the Zamzam came out. It's a well, and as you can see in every valley, go to any mountain valley, you will see the water level is very high because the water comes down and goes to the ground, and there are many natural wells in those areas. You don't have to dig much because the water, with so much water coming from the mountain, like they do in Mecca, then the water is natural. But the Zamzam well, scientifically, when tested in UK, in Germany, has more percentage of arsenic and nitric oxide, and that is kind of poison, slow poison. And that is the reason why, if you see people around Mecca, they have a lot of mental issues. They have a lot of health issues. Same like many people have lot of issues living around the Nile, the river Nile, particularly when it comes from thousands of miles away and comes to Egypt. Egypt, the Nile in Egypt is a bunch of disease ponds. So what they do in Zamzam, they take that small pipe, send it to 10 miles or 15 miles away, put water in it, which is 90% or 95% more, and then bring it back, filter it, refrigerate it, cool it down, and then supply to the 2 million pilgrimage or hundreds of thousands which come on other occasion. And it has been scientifically proved that this is not good for health. But the mullahs will keep saying, oh no, this is medicinal. If you see many Pakistani TV, you will see they will say, oh, take this medicine and put 2 drops. This mental illness of Muslims is the reason why they cannot grow, why they cannot progress. We haven't seen any learned philosopher or writer or scientist coming from the area of Mecca or even the whole Saudi Arabia. And the place where these Nobel Prize winners were created, Pakistan, Pakistani don't realize it. They don't realize that 4 Nobel Prize came from the area we know Pakistan today. And many came from the place we know India. So this fertile land is better in intelligence, better in craftsmanship, better in philosophy, better in everything. But the mullahs in Pakistan, who are basically sponsored by these GHQ, low IQ interpass idiots, they have clogged every brain. And they tell people, oh, this is very holy place. And because the Saudis are very bad habit, if they say anything, just keep quiet. And Allah has invited you. Really? Allah invited Mohsen Naqvi, as I said last time. Allah invited this stupid Hafizji, Chief of Army Staff, the low IQ interpass, or before that, Bajwa, or before that, Kiani. Is really, I mean, this is what Muslim Allah do, that it supports the corrupts, it supports the killers. Apparently, it is so because according to Muslim traditions, in marriage, Prophet saw more poor and more women, the two depressed and exploited section of the society. He saw more of them in hell. So you can see what this real religion is about and how it has single-handedly destroyed Pakistan, which could have done wonders, which could have been the leader of Muslim world, which could have more scientists, more philosophers, more Nobel Prize literates. But because of this religion, because of this drama of Mecca, which is totally fake, 110% fake, has totally destroyed the country. It has drained its economy. It has spoiled the minds of young Pakistani kids who are said, oh, Makkah was very good, Makkah is perfect, Makkah is in the center, and if God calls you there, when God calls you, you don't say anything, you keep your voice, and if you die, then you are shaheed, and when you are shaheed, then Muhammad will embrace you, and he give you 72 big-breasted Arab huris, and all that nonsense. When they die in Saudi Arabia, they are considered shaheed. Because the Saudi government, as a matter of fact, historically, any ruler who dies for the state, he is or she is termed as shaheed. And then the government has to do nothing. They don't have to give them any pension, they don't have to give them any support. Like these poor Pakistani soldiers who die for the greed of Pakistani journals. They get nothing. They don't get free plots like officers who become billionaire and become property dealer. And they keep, and God, Allah keep calling them. After year, Allah keep calling them. Come and pray in my house. Really? I mean, when would you have any working brain in your skull? You know this is all drama, and you can talk to any historian who can tell you very easily, going through the historical facts, that Mecca is fake. Hajj is not necessary because your nation has more than $130 billion loan. Now it's very amazing that every Muslim country, particularly Saudi, they use international laws and modern international ideology that oh, each country is secular, each country has borders, each country has to have passport and all that. But then when it comes to Hajj, they say, oh, no, no, the country doesn't matter. You have to do Hajj if you want to get salvage because you will not be forgiven if you don't go for Hajj. This is how bad it is. This is why the Pakistanis can never progress. If you look into the history in the 50s, Egypt government, they banned Hajj. They said we don't have enough money. And they have control over their numbers. But this is amazing that Pakistanis have wasted billions in the last, I mean, after 1975, Pakistanis have spent at least $100 billion on this useless land. And they got only harassed, they got only tortured, they got only burned alive, they got only suffocated. And the king of Saudi Arabia takes no responsibility. They say, oh, this is an act of God, these people are shaheed. Civilized worlds and democratic societies don't work this way. There in the civilized world, nobody do this shit of rituals and Hajj and this nonsense. Everybody is responsibility of the state. The day you are born, you are the responsibility of the state. So you don't need to do any dua. You don't need to do any गुनाह के लिए दुआएं करो और नफलें पढ़ो और फर्ज पढ़ो और ये पढ़ो and all that nonsense. Do you know that Pakistanis waste 30% of their life in these stupid things? And if you have read the history, you will know what a famous scientist or physicist Al-Razi said. He said, you're talking about this book which has no meaning, which is no consequence, which is full of stupid claims, which is full of lies, duplication. And you are telling me that I should create one like this? As a matter of fact, we can create hundreds of those, which will be more eloquent, more systematic, with more knowledge and facts. This is what the educated nations do. This is what the scientists, philosophers, and famous smart people do. And there were few like Al-Rushd and so many others who openly criticize the idea that Quran is a living thing, they said, no, you have to look beyond Quran. You have to live in a scientific world, in a factual world, not the world where, like uh, Nizami said that if you, Allah is the one who moves everything. If your finger is moved, then Allah has sent asked the angel to move it. Anybody who know physics in Pakistan, and I know a lot of people know, but they don't realize the fact that one finger has millions and millions and millions of electrons, protons, and positrons. This is how one atom is made. One atom has hundreds of electrons, and they are all moving with almost the speed of light. And then those atoms joined together makes a molecule. Molecules joined together makes a mass. This is how. If you analyze, if you look into the scientific facts of a 70 kilo man, you will see that it has electrons in trillion times trillion times trillion, n times trillion numbers. So, with Allah putting so many angels in every human body who can move the electron? Come to your senses, guys. Read science. Know the reality. And try to understand what is good for your nation. You have self-destructed yourself under this GHQ Interpass low IQ gang and the Mullah gang that you are nowhere. Your passport has no value. When the people look at the green passport, they say, okay, stay aside. We'll talk to you later. This is how you have lost your respect. If you had listened to your father of the nation, Qaid Azam, you will be number one in Southeast Asia, as you were early 60s, the fastest growing economy. But this shit of religion has totally destroyed you from within. You can blame it on Israel, you can blame it on USA, you can blame it on India, but the blame can only come to yourself. Nobody asks you to waste 30% of your life in these stupid rituals, Hajj, Namaz, Zakat, and then this Hajj and do that fasting. You waste almost 30 days in Ramadan, which is only holy for mullahs because they make 90% of their money in Ramadan. That's why they call it holy month. The life of an average salaried Pakistani is a living hell during Ramadan because everything go up double. And then on top of that, you waste your time, your day, and your night. Your productivity comes down to 16%. The productivity of Pakistan is only 30% of the advanced world. And it further goes down to 16%. This is how much you lose. Think about it. God bless.